Did you know that the average American family throws away more than $1,500 each year on food they don't need? Yes, exactly. $1,500 down the drain because you buy goods that only financially uninformed people can afford. I am going to talk about 12 grocery items that are actually designed to take away your hard-earned money. If you buy them, you fall into one of the largest retail traps in history. Listen, grocery stores are not your friends. They are businesses created to maximize profit. And now, as food prices have risen by 2.8% compared to last year, they are making record profits while you try to feed your family. Some of the goods I will talk about have a markup of up to 4,000%. This is not a typo. 4,000%. By the end of this video, you will no longer shop as you did before and will start keeping this money to yourself, where it belongs. But here's the thing. Most people will watch this video and do absolutely nothing with this information. So the question is, whether you will be like everyone else or learn to manage your money wisely. The first product is sliced fruits and vegetables. Let me tell you a story that will surprise you. Last week, I went to my local store and saw a container of sliced watermelon for $6.99. Next to it was a whole watermelon for $3.99. The same watermelon, friends. Someone spent just 5 minutes to cut it and doubled the price. This is not an isolated case. The same happens with every sliced fruit and vegetable in this store. According to recent industry data, you pay on average 40% more for someone else to use a knife. What really angers me about this scam is that grocery stores claim it's about convenience and labor costs. Nonsense. The real labor costs are about 30 cents per container, but they charge you $3 to $4 more because they know you are busy, you are tired, and you will pay for convenience. Meanwhile, cut products lose nutrients the moment they are sliced, lying under fluorescent lights, losing freshness, and often spoil faster than whole products. But this is where smart people win in this game. You have two excellent strategies that will save you hundreds of dollars every month. First, spend just 20 minutes on Sunday preparing dishes. Turn on your favorite Netflix series, grab a cutting board, and prep fruits and vegetables for the whole week. You will get fresher products, save a fortune, and it will be strangely therapeutic. The second strategy that will truly surprise you. Check the frozen section. Frozen fruits and vegetables are harvested at their peak ripeness, quickly frozen to preserve all vitamins, cut for your convenience, and cost about 60% less than those expensive fresh-cut products. Plus, they can be stored for months, not days. Grocery store executives hate this simple trick because it completely undermines their profits on one of their most lucrative products. 2. Bottled water. This is where the real disgust begins. And I say this in the literal sense. You think you are buying pure water in this plastic bottle? Think again. A recent study conducted by Columbia University and Rutgers University will make you shudder. Scientists discovered that an average liter of bottled water contains about 240,000 tiny plastic particles. There are almost 250,000 plastic particles in every bottle you drink. And here is the main point. At 10, there are 100 times more plastic particles than previous studies showed, because scientists have finally learned to detect the smallest particles called nanoplastics. But wait, that's not all. These microplastics are now found in people's lungs, breast milk, and even in placental tissue. We are literally feeding our future children plastic. The bottled water industry just laughs, as a bottle of water costing $2 only costs them 5 cents. That's a 4,000% markup. You pay 40 times more for water that is often just filtered tap water filled with plastic particles. That's what struck me. Research shows that bottled water actually contains more microplastics than tap water. So you pay 4,000 times more to get more plastic pollution than from your kitchen tap, for practically nothing. The solution is horrifically simple. Buy a decent water filter for $30. Get a stainless steel bottle and stop poisoning yourself by wasting money. Your wallet and your body will thank you. 3. Fresh pastries. Here is something that will surprise you. Do you know that heavenly smell when you walk past the bakery in the supermarket, the one that makes you salivate and suddenly crave a chocolate croissant? Well, that smell might not be real. Large supermarket chains now use synthetic flavorings that spray artificial baking scents throughout the store. According to data from the Institute of Aromatic Marketing, when the smell of freshly baked bread is artificially sprayed in a supermarket, sales in the bakery department triple. Yes, they literally manipulate your brain chemistry, making you spend money. But here's what is truly shocking. The freshly baked cookies, muffins, and cakes you buy have a gross profit of almost 60%. Think about that for a second. If you buy a cupcake for $4, the store earns about $2.40. 410 cents is pure profit. This is not just markup, it is robbery. The reason they succeed is that they have captured your sense of smell. Studies show that certain scents can inspire shoppers to spend more time in the store and make additional purchases. And supermarkets know this. They sell you not just bread, they sell you an emotional experience. Now here is what smart people do. First, look at the expiration date section. The same products, often with a 50% discount, and guess what? They still taste great. Secondly, buy Just Add Water or Just Add Eggs baking mixes. A box of brownie mix costs $2 and yields the same amount as a tray from the bakery for $12. Companies like Philadelphia Cream Cheese even collaborate with stores to sell cheesecakes at inflated prices. It's a psychological war against your wallet, and now you know how to deal with it. Fourth, branded spices. Here is a story that will make you boil with indignation. Last week, I went into a grocery store and bought a tiny bottle of McCormick oregano. You know, the one that's barely bigger than your finger. $349. Then I drove 5 minutes to the local Indian store and bought the same amount of oregano for 37 cents. That's quite a difference. This is almost 1,000% markup for exactly the same spices. Branded spices have one of the highest markups among products in the store, reaching a full 100%. But the real problem is much deeper than just the price. Let me tell you something shocking about those beautiful jars of spices that sit on store shelves. Most of them stand there for months, sometimes even years. I am talking about spices that have lost their taste and strength so long ago that you could season your food with colored dust. The spice industry turned into a market worth $28.84 billion by the year 2025, but grocery stores sell you the oldest and most expensive versions of these products. The paprika you bought 6 months ago probably tasted like cardboard the day you bought it. But here is where it gets really interesting. The global spice market is growing by almost 9% a year and is expected to reach $59 billion by 2032. Nevertheless, grocery stores still offer you these ancient and overpriced bottles because people do not know what is better. At the same time, ethnic markets and wholesale stores sell spices that were imported last month, not last year, for pennies. I am talking about Indian markets, Middle Eastern shops, Asian grocery stores. These places sell their goods so quickly that their spices are truly fresh, and they sell them at prices that bring tears to the eyes of grocery chain executives. Here is your action plan. Completely ignore the spice department. Find the nearest ethnic market. Every city has such places. Buy whole spices when possible, as they last longer and taste better. And if you want to be really smart, buy in bulk and store them in airtight containers. You will get the best taste, the best prices, and stop falling for one of the most profitable scams of the food industry. For the same price as a $3 bottle of oregano, you can buy enough oregano to last a whole year at the right store. Fifth, organic products. This is where grocery stores play dirty with your wallet and health. The organic food industry is now worth over $52 billion, and they charge you an average of 20% more just for this little green sticker. But here is what is absolutely shocking. Most people buying organic products have no idea when it really matters and when they are just throwing money away. Let me tell you a story that will surprise you. Yesterday, the Environmental Working Group published its list of the Dirty Dozen for the year 2024. And guess what? 95% of the products from the Dirty Dozen are covered in pesticides, and more than 50 different pesticides have been found on each of them. It's about strawberries that were found to contain up to 23 different chemicals. Even after washing. 23. This is not food. It's a chemical experiment you are giving to your family. But this is where it gets truly frightening. The same study showed that almost 65% of the fruit and vegetable samples from the Clean 15 list had no detectable pesticide residues. So you pay more for organic avocados and sweet corn when less than 2% of regular product samples show any pesticides. You are literally overpaying for nothing. The most alarming part, 4 out of 5 of the most commonly detected chemicals are fungicides that can disrupt human hormonal systems, and they are applied after harvest to make products look appealing on store shelves. They don't even help plants grow. These are just cosmetic chemicals that can harm your thyroid and reproductive system. Here is your saving strategy that the organic industry doesn't want you to know. Buy organic products only for the Dirty Dozen, such as strawberries, spinach, and kale, where it really matters for health. For products from the Clean 15 list, such as avocados, sweet corn, and pineapples, save money and buy conventional ones. This simple trick can cut your expenses on organic products in half while protecting your family from the most dangerous chemical exposures. Stop falling for marketing tricks and start shopping smart. 6-portion snacks. Here's a story that will surprise you. Last week, I was at the grocery store with my mom and 2 kids. Her cart was filled with individual snack packages. You know what I mean. Small packets of goldfish crackers, portioned Oreo packs, mini chip bags. I watched her pay and couldn't believe my eyes. She spent $47 just on snacks. That's the madness. When I got home, I did the math. And if she had bought the same snacks in bulk, she would have spent only $18. This means that the markup was 161% just for the convenience of pre-packaging. Think about it. Snacks that cost $6.54 in 1977 now cost $32.17 in 2025. The prices of portioned packaging are rising even faster. The snack industry is now worth $692.520 billion worldwide and is expected to grow by 4.2% annually. And what leads to this growth? Your laziness. That's right. Companies literally profit from the fact that you won't take 2 minutes to pack snacks yourself. Let me present you with some real numbers that will shock you. A pack of individual goldfish crackers, you know those tiny bags that disappear in 3 bites, costs about $8.99 for 10 ounces of crackers. The same brand in a family pack costs $449 for 30 ounces. You pay almost 600% more per ounce just because someone put it in a smaller package. And don't even start talking about those small packages of pretzels in lunches. You pay $1.25 for something that actually costs only 15 cents from the wholesale container. But what really angers me is that families spend hundreds of extra dollars each year thinking they need these pre-portioned snacks for portion control. Listen. Your children don't need a snack company to teach them portion control. You need a 5-minute waste of time and a set of reusable containers for $5. Buy a large pack, distribute the snacks yourself, and stop letting billion-dollar corporations think you are too stupid to count crackers. An average family spends over $800 a year on individually packaged snacks compared to buying in bulk and portioning them out themselves. This is the cost of the auto payment. Imagine standing in the meat department. Your eyes stop on the shiny packages of pre-marinated chicken fillet. It says, with a honey garlic glaze. Teriyaki paradise, screams another package. They look so convenient, so professional, so expensive. But here is what really happens behind the scenes. And believe me, this will astonish you. This chicken fillet you're about to take has a markup of up to 60% compared to regular chicken. 60%. Let me explain. A pound of regular chicken fillet costs about $4.99. The same fillet, just marinated in a sauce that might cost 50 cents to make. Now it costs $7.99. You are literally paying an extra $3 for someone to pour sauce on your meat. But wait, that's not all. This is what stores don't want you to know. Sausages and processed meats contain high levels of sodium. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention warn that excessive sodium intake can raise blood pressure and increase the risk of stroke or cardiovascular diseases. We are not only talking about meat delicacies. These pre-marinated steaks and chicken breasts are also full of sodium. Some of them contain more than 800 milligrams of sodium per serving. This is more than a third of your daily sodium intake in just one piece of chicken. Why? Because sodium is cheap. It is a preservative, it enhances the flavor of the meat, and makes you crave more. This is the perfect scheme for stores. Considering that beef prices will remain high at least until mid-2025 due to a reduction in livestock, you would think we would be smarter about where we spend money on meat. But no, we still fall into this trap. The processed meat industry is thriving. The market for fresh processed meat products in North America is projected to grow from $14 billion in 2023 to $145 billion by 2032. They earn money while we lose. This will save you hundreds of dollars this year. Making your own marinade takes 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Take some olive oil, garlic, herbs, and maybe soy sauce or lemon juice. Mix the meat with the marinade in a bag, and it's done. You have just saved $3 and halved your sodium consumption. Most importantly, your homemade marinade is actually tastier. You control the flavors, the amount of salt, and your budget. Every time you buy pre-marinated meat, you pay someone to spend 2 minutes mixing ingredients that you already have at home. It's like paying a restaurant for a peanut butter sandwich. Stop doing that. Your wallet will thank you, your blood pressure will too, and your taste buds will thank you too. Next time you see these stylish packages of pickled meat, remember this. It's not convenience, it's a tax on convenience. And you are smarter than that. Trendy superfoods in small packages. So, point number 8 will surprise you. To be honest, it annoys me a bit because of how cleverly the marketing is done. Imagine this. You walk down a health food aisle and see tiny packages labeled Superfood and Ancient Wisdom. A small bag of goji berries for $12. Next to it, acai powder for $18. You think, well, if it's that expensive, it must be incredibly good for me, right? You're wrong. Completely wrong. This is what they won't tell you. The Food and Drug Administration has never endorsed the term superfood. It is not a real classification, but pure marketing. These companies can label anything as superfood and set a triple price. Here are the real numbers that will make your wallet cry. This tiny packet of organic goji berries weighing 8 ounces costs $12.95 in the store. That's over $25 a pound. Do you know what else is full of antioxidants? Regular blueberries, raspberries, and strawberries, which cost about $4 a pound. The situation is similar with frozen berries, but wait, it gets even worse. In the last 4 years, mentions of the term superfood have increased by more than 300%. This is not because these products suddenly became healthier. This is related to the fact that the marketing budget exploded. Here's the paradox. Goji berries have been a part of traditional Chinese medicine for centuries. In China, these are just ordinary berries that can be bought cheaply at any market, but once they cross the Pacific Ocean and get fashionable packaging, they become ancient superfoods, their weight equal to gold. But the real superfoods are the ordinary organic fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, legumes, and grains that you buy at the grocery store. They are significantly cheaper than expensive goji berries or maca powder, and in nutritional properties, they are not inferior to them. And here is another interesting fact. Studies regarding breast and liver cancer cells show that goji berries may help the body destroy cancer cells, but these are preliminary laboratory studies. Do you know what else showed similar results in laboratory studies? Ordinary berries, leafy vegetables, and about 100 other common products that cost much less. I'm not saying goji berries are bad for you. They're perfectly fine. They're berries. But paying $25 a pound for something that has the nutritional value of $4 blueberries just means overpaying for Instagram-friendly packaging and marketing hype. What to do? Skip these small, expensive packages. Buy regular berries, spinach, carrots, sweet potatoes. These are the real nutritional powerhouses. They have been feeding families for generations without trendy labels and inflated prices. And this brings us to the last point. Something that sounds fashionable, but is actually just ordinary food at a high price. Energy drinks and expensive coffee. And now the 9th point, which will wake you better than any energy drink because it will talk about fraud with liquid gold that empties your wallet faster than you can say, venti caramel macchiato. Imagine this. It's Monday morning. You drag yourself through the store, your eyes barely open. You grab a Monster energy drink for $3.50. Then you pop into Starbucks and leave another $5 for cold coffee. Boom. $8.50 vanished by 9 in the morning. But here's where it gets truly crazy. Let's do some calculations to make your wallet cry. If you buy just one energy drink and one expensive coffee 3 times a week, that's $25.50 a week, totaling $1,326 a year. But wait, it gets worse. This Monster you just picked up contains up to 20 teaspoons of sugar. That's 78 grams in one can. The recommended daily sugar intake for women is 24 grams. For men, 36 grams. One drink exceeds your daily sugar limit by 3 times. But here's what really isn't discussed. The energy drink industry, worth $22 billion, now uses health branding to make you think these sugar bombs are beneficial. They stick the words, natural caffeine, and vitamins on the packaging, while filling it with more sugar than in a chocolate bar. Now let's talk about your expensive coffee habit. Cold coffee at Starbucks starts at $4, but their nitro version can cost $5 or more. $5 for coffee with nitrogen bubbles. You can buy 40 ounces of ground coffee for $10. This yields about 100 cups of coffee. 10 cents per cup versus $5 per cup. That's a 5,000% markup. But what really keeps me awake at night is that studies show that consuming sugary drinks leads to weight gain, increased risk of type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular diseases, and gout. You literally pay a high price for harming your health. I had a friend who spent $15 a day on energy drinks and visits to cafes. $15. It's more than $5,000 a year. When I showed him the calculations, his face turned pale. He thought he was just indulging himself. In reality, he was buying a used car every year in liquid form. Here's your signal to wake up. Cold coffee at home takes only 5 minutes to prepare. Coffee grounds, cold water. Let it steep overnight. Boom, you have a coffee concentrate that lasts a week for less than $2. Need more energy? Try green tea with a drop of lemon. Or here's a crazy idea. Sleep better and drink water. Revolutionary, I understand. Want to get caffeine without a sharp drop in sugar? Buy a good coffee machine. Make a one-time investment and save thousands. Want energy without health risks? Establish a sleep schedule, eat natural food, and move more. The energy drink and trendy coffee industry bets that you won't notice. They rely on your morning fogginess of mind to make you buy liquid sugar at inflated prices. Don't let them win. Speaking of liquid waste, let's discuss something that will make coffee prices quite reasonable. 10th place is occupied by pre-marinated meat products. This discovery will make you reconsider everything you bought in the meat department. And I warn you, once you hear this, you will never look at those colorful marinated chicken breasts the same way again. Imagine this. You are hurrying through a store after work. You see beautiful teriyaki chicken thighs, perfectly marinated and ready to cook. Next to them are ordinary chicken thighs that look, to put it mildly, plain. The marinated ones cost just $3 more. It seems like an obvious choice, doesn't it? But here's what stores don't want you to know. These convenient pre-marinated meat products have a markup of up to 60% compared to regular meat. You literally pay 60% more for something that costs about 50 cents for the marinade ingredients. But money is just the beginning. The striking part is what actually goes into this marinade. A recent investigation revealed that most store-bought marinades contain a lot of sodium, sometimes over 800 milligrams per serving. That's more than a third of your daily sodium intake just in the marinade. And here's what's worse. Processed meat products with preservatives are linked to cardiovascular diseases, obesity, certain types of cancer, and even type 2 diabetes. But that's not all. Do you know where the bright colors in some marinades come from? Often they come from artificial preservatives and dyes that mask the fact that the meat may not be as fresh as you think. This is what the former meat department manager at the store told me. They often use pre-marinated options to sell meat that is nearing its expiration date. Bright aromas and colors of the marinade can conceal any minor changes in the appearance or smell of the meat. Let me present you with real figures this week. In a large supermarket chain, regular chicken breasts cost $4.99 per pound. Exactly the same chicken breasts, but marinated in teriyaki cost $7.99 per pound. This is 60% higher than the price for the marinade, which probably cost them 30 cents to produce. Want to know what's really surprising? Making your own marinade takes just 3 minutes, and I'm not talking about something complicated. Here's a simple marinade recipe that will surpass any store-bought options. Olive oil, soy sauce, garlic powder, and a bit of honey or brown sugar. Mix this in a bowl, place the meat in a Ziploc bag and add the marinade. Done. 3 minutes, maybe 4 if you want to add a bit of greenery. And the best part is, you control the amount of sodium, you choose the ingredients. No mysterious preservatives, artificial colors, or chemicals with names that can't be pronounced. I started doing this myself 6 months ago. My monthly grocery bill has decreased by about $40 thanks to this one change. That's almost $500 a year. And to be honest, my food has become tastier because I use fresh ingredients instead of what has been lying in plastic packaging for an unknown amount of time. Here is your task. Next time you are in the store, compare the price per kilogram of regular meat and that of marinated meat. Do the math. Then ask yourself, are 3 minutes of mixing ingredients really worth 60% more? Speaking of things that seem convenient but are actually a deception, let's talk about what is now almost in every shopping cart: individual yogurt packages. Oh, this will hurt. Individual yogurt packages. Let me paint a picture that will make you look at the dairy section differently. Imagine Sarah. She hurries through the store, collecting her weekly groceries. She tosses a pack of 6 individual Greek yogurts into her cart. $8.99 for the pack. It seems reasonable, doesn't it? But here is what Sarah doesn't understand. She just paid almost $15 for a kilogram of yogurt. The same yogurt in a large container costs $4.50 per kilogram. Individual yogurts are usually 2 to 3 times more expensive than the same amount of yogurt from a large jar. This is not a mistake. You literally pay up to 5 times more for convenience when someone has already portioned it for you. Let's do some quick calculations that will surprise you. If you eat 1 yogurt a day, that's quite normal, right? You spend about $300 a year more than if you bought large containers and used your small ones. $300? This is the cost of a weekend you throw away on predetermined yogurt. But what really annoys me, each individual package creates about 6 times more packaging waste than if you just took from a large jar. Large containers usually have relatively less packaging, so this is better from a sustainability perspective, but I know what you're thinking. What about portion control? Listen, if you can't control yourself around a large container of yogurt, the problem isn't the size of the container. And you know what? You can buy small reusable containers for just $2 and portion the yogurt yourself. A revolutionary idea? I know. Here's your action plan. Buy a large container, buy some small glass containers, or even those trendy parfait cups from Amazon. Portion them out when you get home. You will save money, reduce waste, and likely get fresher yogurt since larger containers have a higher turnover. But if you think that individual yogurt packaging is overpriced, wait until you hear about our latest category, specialized dietary products. We approach the final level of supermarket fraud, specialized diet products with trendy labels. I am genuinely angry that these companies target people striving for healthy eating. Walk into the health food section, and everything looks so clean and stylish. Here is a box of keto-friendly bars for $12. Next to it are paleo-approved crackers for $9.99. Whole30 compliant marinara sauce costs $7. Here's what happens. These companies take ordinary products, stick trendy diet words on the packaging, and charge you 2 to 3 times more. And this works because the market for specialized dietary products has grown by more than 40% in just the last 2 years. Let me give you a real example that will raise your blood pressure. I found keto-friendly peanut butter for $11. Do you know what was in it? Peanuts and salt. That's it. Regular peanut butter with the same ingredients, $3.50. The same composition, the same nutritional profile. The mentioned crackers, approved by the paleo diet, are made from almond flour and sea salt. You can make similar crackers at home using just 2 ingredients that cost about a quarter of the price. But the packaging features a primitive man, and suddenly it becomes premium food. This is what diet product manufacturers really don't want you to know. Both the keto and paleo diets exclude added sugars, grains, beans, and most legumes. But you don't need special dietary products to follow these eating plans. You need real whole foods that have existed since ancient times. Want to eat keto? Buy regular eggs, meat, vegetables, and cheese. Want to switch to paleo? Take ordinary fruits, vegetables, nuts, and meat. These products naturally fit these diets. They don't need special labels or high prices. I have a friend who spent over $200 a month on Whole30 approved groceries the first time. The next time she just bought regular groceries and read the labels. The results were the same. $75 a month. She saved $1,500 in a year just by reading the ingredients instead of falling for marketing. Here is your action plan. Before buying anything with labels like keto, paleo, Whole30, or any other diet, ask yourself one question. Can I make this from regular ingredients? The answer will almost always be yes. Stop paying extra money for diet marketing. Start reading product ingredients. Your wallet and your real health goals will thank you. Because in the end, real food doesn't need trendy labels to be valuable.